Welcome to Jackie Burns Creations. Today I literally am turning trash into treasure. It is our Save Our Earth Cool Ab, and it's hosted by Crystal from the Purple Pixie and Daniela from Danalita AF. And our challenge is to take something that would be thrown away as garbage and turn it into something really cool. So that's why it's a cool ab instead of a collab. Crystal started this on Earth Day, so it really gives us a chance to think of how we can change things. So I'm taking this bottle and wrapping it with paper. I want to give it a little bit of a shabby chic look, so that's why I thought this paper would be great for it. This would have been a bottle that would have been thrown away, but I saved it because I really liked the shape of it. So I put our friend Mod Podge down and put a little bit on the paper, and now I'm just finishing off the rest of it. Okay, I'm taking different yarns. I have the pink one, the white one, and I have a few different type of ribbons. I like to get texture and shape and a lot of different type materials that you can put together to give it a shabby chic. When I go to Michael's, I watch for their yarn sales because they have some really cool different shaped ones and different textures. So I'm just kind of measuring them all out and cutting the ends. This ribbon I've had in my stash for probably close around 8 years. It says Inspire. And I thought that'd look really cool on here. I know I got it online, but I can't even tell you where in the world I got that. This ribbon is from Dollar Tree. And it kind of gives a pillow ticking type feel to it. You can even, if you're making a tassel, you can even put in junk chains, lace. That's what I'm pulling out now is the lace. You could use twine, rope. You could just think of all kinds of things you could make the tassel out of. So I'm gathering that up. So it'll all be kind of mixed up and I don't have big lumps of one kind. And instead of doing a tassel in the middle, I'm doing a tassel at the top. Tying it with some yarn. And I pulled it really tight and tied it a few times on each side. Then I'm tying it to the top. And I put a butterfly on there, which I forgot to hit record. And I put a flower on there that was from my stash that I got at Michael's when it was on sale. And I decided it needed more than one bow. One bow, what am I talking about? One flower. Forgive me, it's getting late. So I decided it needed one more. And here I go putting the one more on. And I hope you like this one. I have others that I'll show someday that I made trash to treasure. So DIY number 2. This looks like an old milk bottle, but it's not. It had a granola in it. And instead of throwing the bottle away, I wanted to save it because it looked cool. I hate throwing things away if they really look cool. And wait a minute, my craft room says so. So anyway, I painted it white, and I've got this stamp. It's an IOD stamp. And I tried to put it directly on the bottle, and it just kept slipping and smearing, and I think because of a little bit of the curvature. So what I decided to do is get some tissue paper, and this is in a China blue that I'm going to stamp it. It's best to lay down the IOD stamps and stamp them from above. You just need to lightly stamp them. And boy, with the paper, I really needed to lightly stamp this one, because you'll see it came right through the paper. Oh well, this is a silicone mat and it'll wash off. So what I'm doing is I'm doing a little cutting on them with kind of a fussy cut. That is what you get in really close. And take your time with your little scissors and cut very carefully. I could have torn around it with a little bit of water, but I wanted it to look more like it was part of the bottle. And once I get it on, you really can't tell. And that's something else I save too, tissue paper. If somebody gives me a present with tissue paper, I fold it up and put it with my stash. Where a lot of times people throw tissue paper away. Okay, so I'm using the antique looking Mod Podge, which I haven't ever used that before. Oop, got to clean up here first. Okay, I'll show it to you in a second. See, there it is. I had never tried this before. It's okay. Give it a little bit of a tannish color. Okay, just applying a thin coat because this is tissue paper. It doesn't need a thick coat. Most things Mod Podge really don't need a thick coat. Getting a bigger brush, and this brush kept dropping hairs on my project, and I was like, ugh, not happy about that. So, all right, let's get a bigger brush that doesn't drop hairs. Sometimes I wouldn't mind the hairs, but on this one, no, I did not want hairs all over it. The struggle's real, folks. So anyway, we put the tissue paper on. And I'll just smooth it out with my brush. Put a little bit on the top and the edges so it lays down nice. And this IOD stamp says Pure Thick Cream, Fresh Daily. I love these IOD stamps. They're so cute. So just one last touch of the whole bottle. Just so it'll look all even with the same color. So you can see it's just a little cream, little off-white. I'm taking some of this ticking material and tying me a nice bow. Good old shoelace bow. Snip the ends a little bit. And then I did have a lid for this, and I just popped that on. Okay, DIY number 3. I've got an old bottle here, and I got some of this modeling clay from Dollar Tree. I tried this quite a few years ago when I was teaching. And I got some free samples from Crayola, and my kids just absolutely loved it. And I had fun with it too. It's different than any other clay. It will air dry, and you can't do it in the oven or a kiln or put any kind of heat to it. Probably is flammable. So I was just spreading it out toward the bottom of this bottle. I didn't put any at the top. I could have. It took 2 packages of the clay. Like I say, you can find these at Dollar Tree. It's a good, fun project for anybody. Kids, adults, anybody could do something like this. It's not hard, just takes time. Time and patience. And you can feel when you put your hands over it, you can feel the thicker spots compared to thinner spots. And I use the bottle as its own rolling pin to help flatten it out, and it'll squeeze together quite nicely. It's workable for a pretty good amount. The package says it takes 72 hours to dry, but I put it outside yesterday in 101, 103 degree heat, and yeah, it dried pretty fast. So I wanted it to look kind of rolling and hilly toward the top. Now I decided, how do I make lines on this so they look good and they're even all the way around? So I took some rope I had, and I am just going around it. And yes, I have to go back and touch it up a little bit, but okay, as I pull, then it makes the line deeper. I thought that was pretty smart that I figured that one out. Sometimes I even amaze myself. See, not too bad. I don't need them to be perfect. Because I am making lines on them to make them look like bricks. This is a jewelry tool, but I'll tell you, it has come in so handy for crafts too. I've got this, what they call salt wash. I got this from Jamie Ray Vintage. And if you add a little bit to your paint, it makes it thicker and gives it more cement look to it. So I'm adding white chalk paint. This paint was a little thick. So later on I did end up adding just a little bit of water to it to thin it down. Trying to pour the black, but not getting it quite. Okay, that's a clean brush. I'm sticking it into the black, and there it goes. It's gray. It's good enough. Put a little bit in there. Mix it up a little bit more. You could use baking soda also, but I want to try this salt wash. No, it doesn't give it a granulated texture because it's powdery. Okay, I mixed it all up and then I added in a little terracotta to it. I didn't want the terracotta to be bright terracotta. I wanted it to be a little more muted. Add a teeny bit more salt wash, and there I go. It's all mixed. You can see how nice and thick it gets. Now I'm going to paint the clay. See how it's starting to look like bricks. I didn't have to go over this too many times because this really did a nice job of covering that bright blue. And I would advise really to let it dry at least 48 hours, if not 72 like the recommended time. Well, I did go up along the top also, but I guess I didn't get that footage. So now I'm going over everything with the, I think it's Plaid. It's a Plaid product anyway, with the white wax. Just like the white wax you can get from Waverly. Now I'm taking a baby wipe and just wiping it down to what I want it to be. And I took more off the bottom part than I did off the top part. Now the other day for my birthday, my sister sent me these little miniature roses, and they were packed in this moss, and it said remove pack upon unpacking, or remove moss upon unpacking. So I thought, oh, okay, here's another thing that would get thrown away that I'm saving. I put a little hot glue down and then little bits of moss. And after I get all done, I will spray this down with hairspray and it will keep it more in place. Really nice, soft moss. So I want it to look like a little roof over a little house. And I probably didn't even have to paint up there or do the white wax up there, but still it looks neat. Okay, these are stickers I got at Dollar Tree. I couldn't get over how gorgeous these things are. They do stick, but I still put a little hot glue on the back of them. You know, places that stick out a little bit, just a teeny dab of hot glue. Wish I could find some kind of stickers like this for Christmas. I'll have to watch Dollar Tree because the stickers they came out with this spring were incredible. Oh, sorry, I left the camera going and I was packaging something from Prime. Oh well, you can look at the picture for a while. It was like, yeah, get back to what you're doing. All they were is some cables that I ordered that were on sale during Prime Days. I think there was like 6 cables for $7, which is great because last time I bought a cable, I got it at Ross and it was $10. I break them on the ends a lot. So here's the other part of the stickers. I'm putting a little flower on each side. And the watering can. And on this side. Little pot with flowers in it. I thought there were more in there. Well, thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe and hit the thumbs up so you'll be notified when I have something. See you later. Bye.